Today, a number of things have been known to have affected education or just help improve. For example, we have how to brand yourself when you're looking for a job or when you're in the market place. So that is what we want to have a discussion about today. I am your host, Roseline Ogaye, and this is the Tufunzeni podcast. Just to understand how these issues affect the lives of the professionals, that is the educators, I am joined with wonderful colleagues here. I have educators, I have Mercy Kihugi, and I have Dennis Omolo, who is the executive director of Tufunzeni. Today, this is a very interesting and exciting session because I'm actually hosting my executive director. That is very, very wonderful. So, lady and gentlemen, feel welcome to this session.
Thank
So, I will also give you 1 second to at least say something that I have not said about you. Let's start with Mercy.
Awesome. So my name is Mercy Kihugi, as you've heard, an educator, very passionate about education and also this beautiful community that you guys are building. I'm all about a beautiful teachers community. I think one thing you've not mentioned about me is that I'm an author.
Oh, wow.
So yes, so I do have books. You can check me out and then we can interact later. Thank you
Sure.
for having me.
Thank you, Mercy.
Thank you. Yeah, I think you've said everything. So I'm Dennis Omolo, a teacher of English and literature. Been teaching for the last 13 years. And I'm also the executive director to Tufunzeni. And yeah, it's very nice to see that you love the beautiful community we are building. So I'm very honored to be here today.
Thank you so much, Dennis and Mercy, for keeping it at Tufunzeni. Now, as we've talked about issues that affect education and also lives of teachers, we've seen that a lot has changed in the marketplace.
Yeah.
There's so many things that have happened. There are developments here and there that most of us or most people might not be aware of. So, Dennis, as someone who has interacted with a number of teachers, and I applaud you for that. I know you've worked with teachers in the country trying to build them professionally and all that. What can you tell us is as some of the things that have evolved in the job market that have changed compared to the olden times?
Yeah, I think before recruiters used to look for teachers who know the content, you can cover the syllabus. So now they're moving beyond that because they're looking for something more. They're looking for teachers who can integrate technology because it's a big thing. EdTech is a big thing now in the classroom. They're looking for teachers who can do something more than to teach. I've seen so many situations where in the interviews, they ask you, what else can you do apart from teaching? So be it debate, be it media, or maybe sports. So that is something that has also changed. And I'm also seeing that they're looking for the soft skills now. There's a way that they can tell this. If you're good with kids, if there's evidence of that, how you create connections. And also they are doing a lot of background checks.
Okay.
Yeah, as we've always talked about in the community, when a recruiter gets your CV, the first thing they do that right now is to go online and they search for Mercy Kihugi. You're lucky because when they search for Mercy Kihugi, they just see beautiful things.
Yeah.
But it's something they do now. So that's why we also tell teachers to work on their social media presence and their internet presence, because you have to now control that narrative.
Okay.
And they do background checks. They talk to teachers and school leaders where you've worked, so that they see maybe if you left a job because of something that happened there, or you are clean. And this is very big, especially for child protection. They have to do that background. So those are the things that have changed now. There's a lot of emphasis being placed on the wholeness of the teacher that is coming into an organization than before.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So we've heard of that you need to be an initiator of ideas. You need to be creative as a teacher. Those are some of the things that are being looked at. Mercy, I believe there are also a number of things that you've also seen that maybe like qualities or mindsets that recruiters are looking for that can help someone. So what are some of these, in your own experience, what are some of these qualities that are being looked out for?
Yeah, I think one thing that has really stood out over time is your mindset, which you must have a positive mindset, because over and over again you'll hear things like no one wants anyone who's a burden, no one wants anyone who spots the problem, and every time you're like, this is not working, this is not working. Everyone wants someone who is solution oriented, right? You want someone with a positive mindset. Yes, this is not working, but what do we do? Come to me with a solution. So I think that has really stood out over time. Recruiters want people who are coming to them with a solution. Yes, I've seen A is not working well, but this is what we can do. I think something else is also the aspect of not being straitjacketed, whereby if I'm teaching Swahili, that's not all I'm bringing to the table, which, that question of what do you bring to the table is something people don't talk about, but it's really important, and that's what people are looking for. So apart from teaching Swahili, what else? Why are we hiring you? What's that different spice are you bringing with you? What is that extra thing that comes with you? Because I will have two people who can really teach, but then one is a bit more, they have that diversity-ish. Maybe they can run a club. They can teach kids how to do something different. So I think that aspect of not being straitjacketed and somebody who can do different things, that is also something that's really standing out for me. And I'm also learning to keep on working on myself and keep on building, so that by the time, we are far gone, they're not looking back and they're like, Mercy can only teach Swahili, but here comes someone else who can teach Kiswahili and do something else. So Mercy has to go. We don't want that, right? So working on yourself and just making sure you can do at least more than something.
And just to add on what she's saying, the idea here is, and this will sound bad to some people, they always say that, how can you make your boss's life easier? Now that is the trick. How can someone make your life easier? If you've been struggling with something, for example, for me, I do a lot of media stuff. So I work even on the YouTube channel, the school's YouTube channel, so that I've already made the school's life easier, because now
they won't have to source someone.
Things like that. So how can you make your organization's existence a little bit easier?
It is so lovely to hear how you put it out, because one thing that is clear is that one needs not to be rigid on, this is what I'm trained for. So I'm a teacher of English and literature, and that is
this is my way.
So I need to maintain lanes. So we need to be flexible enough. At least if you've not identified something, another extra skill,
it's time to identify.
You need to do that. And I think the problem has been, for a long time, it's been, we were taught that you can only be one thing. And even now, I know when you started doing writing and doing your podcast, you're like, you should be in class. I know you also do a channel where you teach Swahili.
Yes, I do.
Online. So those kind of things. The issue is we've been taught for a long time that you can only be one thing. And we need to change that.
We need to change
and
the
also,
narrative.
there have also been a notion that if you can do multiple things, then people also question your
credibility of teaching. For sure.
They'll be like, how can one teaches English and at the same time teach maths or something?
Or do something.
Do something.
It's time.
We're forgetting about the things that we are just passionate about. Because it doesn't mean you're just good at that one subject.
Exactly.
I always say, I always say that I'm always trying to find a way to marry all the things I'm good at. So if I'm good at photography and videography and all those things, I can marry them with my teaching. So I use my videos to teach. I run a media club. I do all those things. So all those passions are still in this
intertwined
context.
together. And also schools run activities like maybe you could have a talent show or something. There are clubs, there's sports. Maybe you're an MC, maybe you're a good MC, and you can come in. The school doesn't have to source for somebody from outside. A teacher can do that. So you don't also have to lose your spark and be I'm just the teacher in class in front of the kids. It's just me and the board. You don't have to lose your spark.
And another thing, you've realized this, kids love teachers who have other passions outside of school. I started connecting with kids when I started telling them about other things that I do.
That you do.
And so it even becomes a joke. So like football. So when my team is beaten, that Monday is going to be hell.
All about it.
All about it. You even find on the board, they've even written the score so that they can see.
So that's what will come into
class. That's what comes into class.
I like that.
And now you can connect.
Yes.
There's a kid I taught somewhere. He was the quietest. But when he realized that I'm into football or basketball, I forgot. He used to sometimes follow me outside class after the lesson and ask me, teacher, so what is the score between what happened last? I mean, so that, you've already creating a connection. They need to see that you are something beyond. You don't have to tell them about the holiday you went to, I don't know, something. Just
That's
do
true.
something different.
I totally agree because the same thing about connecting. I think also what really made me blend in faster with the kids, because also again culture shock in that new space was the fact that some kids saw me on YouTube.
Wow.
And so the following week, everyone was like, and you're a YouTuber.
Yes.
So they're not even watching because they love Swahili.
Just
Let's be honest, kids don't even love Swahili that much. But they will connect with me just because they think being a YouTuber is cool. My teacher is a YouTuber and they'll tell people, so that's really true.
Have you ever met a kid who told you that they have more
followers?
It's always really nice.
It is, yeah.
So a way of connecting.
Yes.
They have to see you as a human being.
Yes, for sure.
For sure. But now again, during these interviews and, we are in the job search and we really want to get this job. There are also lots of mistakes that, we've made. Teachers have made it with time. What are some of these, in your experience, Mercy? What are some of these mistakes that you find are very, very common? Things that are very common that educators make during interviews?
Yes. Okay. So I think first of all, my biggest one is when people just walk up straight up to people and just admit that they are nervous. Sometimes this say of fake it till you make it, like get in that room and just bring out the best you can. Don't start second guessing yourself or just being like, is this really the room for me or is this really the space for me? Walk in there like you already got that job, because as they look into you, they are reading and they can see, so is this the person we are going to trust with our children? Is this the person we're going to trust with our parents? There's a bigger picture. It's not just you facing the panel. I think something else is also how you package yourself. First of all, how you dress when you're showing up to that interview. You need to look good, look the part. They always say look the part. So when you get in that panel, they can already see this is somebody who looks presentable here. And also, I think something we were talking about earlier is also when you come to connect with these people in the panel, it's good to be yourself.
Yes.
Just be yourself. Sometimes, every time, I think they will always ask something about, do you have something for us or do you have any question for us? And most of the time, people will be like, no, that's enough. That's all for me, But if you've done your due diligence before, just find something to ask about the organization, about maybe the population of the students. I think it also makes the person or the people who are there feel like we're already connecting with you. So you really want to work with us. Align it to your vision, to the vision of the company, whatever it is that they've called you to, whatever you're looking the job for. If it's a school, make sure you know their vision at least and their mission, so that it aligns with what you're telling them. If you're coming to tell them, I can do 1, 2, 3, is it aligning with their vision? I know that works all the time. So if you attach anything, and that's a trick, that's a tip. You can take it if you want, take it and run with it.
Yes.
If you attach something to how you will build innovators and leaders, they will just put you aside. This one has done the assignment.
Speak our language.
Yes, this one speaks our language. So it's good to do some due diligence. Yes, that's what I've picked so far.
That is interesting. I love it. So those who are watching us, please, you've already gotten a tip here. Yeah, it is. Mercy has given us it, and it's true. We need to do. When you do your prayer checks and all that, it also boosts your confidence.
Yes.
So some of these mistakes that you will make, you've searched these because I believe sometimes you just see a job and you're just interested in the email. That sometimes if the email that is not provided, where you need to send your CV, you start asking where is the email instead of just going,
to the website.
So by the time you're walking in, you walk in confident and all that. But then you'll be taken through your interviews. Sometimes I believe it is easier to tell whether you've made an impression, a great impression in that interview.
It is, but I would really discourage from using that because sometimes interviews are very funny. People are not just looking for the most qualified candidates. They're looking for someone they want to work with. I don't know whether you know this.
Yes.
Is this someone I want to work with?
Yes.
I've been in situations where someone has a PhD, is more qualified than me, but maybe I'm warmer.
Than the person.
Yeah, and I smile, so it's easier. These things matter. Personality. People don't just hire people because they have credentials. They also want someone they want to be around, and that is why we need to also cultivate that kind of warmth.
Around
even
people.
around people. Another thing I've seen, you're talking about doing your background check and everything else. I found this especially for in spaces where we are, like in WhatsApp groups. They're very simple mistakes that we make. The other day we posted an opportunity from one of the big schools in the country, and it said scan this QR code to apply. And someone asked us in the WhatsApp group, really, now we need to scan QR codes? And I was just trying to tell them that surely if you're in the job search,
Yes.
scanning a QR code is the least of your
not-
worries.
yes.
Should be the least of your worries. So those kind of, I think, mindset also. That is the mindset that also makes us not even Google. Someone is on WhatsApp, but they can't Google the school. I don't always understand, and you've seen me talk about it a lot in the WhatsApp group, why someone would ask where the school is. Because the school's name is there. For me, what I do is just the name of the school
Yeah.
alone. A friend of ours got a job in the UK because of a link that was sent to the group. They followed that
The
link,
link.
to the school and to the application and to the interviews. Just a link. They didn't even make any noise about it. They didn't ask any questions.
Yes.
They just followed the link. And I think as someone in the job search now, you need to be even faster in executing. You have to be
Yes.
surgical
Yes.
in that precision. And it's a mistake we make. And it's something we need to tell, especially younger teachers, that just the name of a school, just Google the name. If the school has a website, you are now lucky. You will know who the principal is. You will know the agenda. You will know what they stand for.
Yes.
And just by mentioning those things, I got a job one of these days. Also in the interview, you go to a school. One of the tricks I've always done is to make myself comfortable
Yes.
by, so there are maybe 10 guys waiting to be interviewed for the same position. I come and I greet all of you. There's a time someone told me they thought I was the interviewer. Because I'm making myself
yes.
comfortable. So I come greet and get to know you guys and we talk. Because by doing that, I'm getting comfortable.
Yes.
And you look around the school, there's something you can say. I saw a motto that I loved. I won't mention it because we will know the school. But I mentioned that I really love the school's motto. It speaks to me. And the panel were just like, okay, yeah. So mistakes we need to avoid, not doing that background check because, as you've said, makes you confident.
Yes.
And the packaging is also very important, that we need to know how to
Present
package
yourself.
ourselves during the interview. And that question, do you have any question for us? That is something we need to prepare for.
Yes.
And now we're moving from generic questions. What is the population of your school? That's not a question you should be asking. You should be finding out.
Finding out, yeah.
You should
Those
ask
are the things
some
you should find
thoughtful
out.
things, right? What happens when this happens in the school? How do you handle this situation? I would like to know.
Yes.
And you also need to ask some questions that make them think you already have the job.
Yeah.
You know you are going to have the job. For example, how would you handle a situation where, I don't know, during the holidays this happens? If I were to get this job, how would you, which kind of benefits? You need to ask those kind of questions. We have feared that for a long time because we want to be.
Yeah.
Don't forget what Mr. Clifford Lodge always tells us. The interview, as the interviewers are interviewing you, you are also interviewing them.
Correct.
You have to interview them and find out if they're a good fit for you. I know because of desperation and lack of jobs, you can take anything that comes. But it's also good to show that you respect yourself and the things that you can not live with. Yeah. So interview the interviewer.
Yeah.
And you see now we're looking at the power of social media
Yes.
as well. You've mentioned WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Matthew has mentioned some of the learners already saw her as a YouTuber and they're already excited that their teacher is one of amazing YouTubers. But you see also, during another mistake that we make during these interviews, we also want to use, you've been given a chance maybe to apply for a job and one is already asking, the name is already there,
Yeah.
and you're already asking, is teaching in this school.
Mm.
Please DM me.
DM me.
Anyone in this school, please DM me.
What's,
I
what's
how
what do you
say,
think?
let
What do
them
you think?
know.
I
Yeah,
have
let them know. Just go.
conflicted
like
thoughts.
people ask
People
in the
ask,
group.
Omolo has said it very well. You've seen the name.
Yeah.
The name should be, if you are really serious, the name should lead you to
No,
all the
but
things
but
that
The
you
do you
want
think it's
sometimes.
wrong for?
Now,
Do you think
let's
it's
come to
wrong?
those who are asking.
Yeah. Do you think it's wrong for a teacher to
Someone to
ask? Who teaches in this school?
In this
Kindly
school,
DM me.
kindly DM me.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
Is it wrong?
Yeah.
Why?
So I feel like this is a platform for teachers, right?
Yes.
And everyone is sharing. Is it job positions?
Yeah.
Opportunities. Yes. Yeah.
So this person who's asking is somebody who wants an opportunity.
No, okay, there's a vacancy. Let's say
At Nova.
there's at Nova.
Okay.
You're in the same WhatsApp group. They don't know you. So we have posted. Nova Pioneer is doing this, right? And then someone asked, who teaches at Nova Pioneer? Can you DM me? Is that wrong?
I feel like it's wrong because they don't want to do the assignment. They just want somebody to reach out to them so that they can get maybe a quick handout of what is happening. And sometimes I might not even be in a position to share or even help them the way they want. Or maybe I'm going to keep this information. I don't want them to get the job. So why not you go out there, do your due diligence, and then find out what you need to find out. If you do your assignment properly, you will come across somebody who might guide you. Alternatively, you can just check and maybe reach out to this person. You don't need to ask people to DM you.
But there's another side to that story. It just depends on why they're saying DM me.
It depends,
Yeah.
Omolo, but and also one thing that we also have to look at it. You do not know the person who is going to DM you.
Yes.
What if the
Exactly.
person who is going to DM you is the director of that
No,
school,
Yeah.
or
that's
the principal of that
it's a big
school?
problem because
Yeah.
it's a big problem because I was telling someone the other day, if you're in a WhatsApp group with the recruiter and someone posted some time back, they didn't even say DM me. They said, I need a connection here. Kindly DM. You see, the opportunity is already there.
Yeah.
It's an advert. You have all the
Yes.
information you need. So I was trying to tell them, if you say that, it looks like you are looking for a way to get this job through the back
A
door
quick
than
way.
a quick
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
But it's always good. We have seen situations where there are schools that advertise positions every 2 seconds, and someone starts questioning, hey, someone from this school needs to tell us what's happening,
Yeah.
because that kind of thing always is a red flag in some way. So it's
okay.
good to ask.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
But it also depends. If I asked you, maybe I'm asking you for salary range.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
yeah. So when they
also
come to
I think
DM,
how you package the
information
information
is
is
very
also very important.
Yes.
Because if you just say anyone which is in this
DM
school,
me.
DM me.
DM
I
I'd
mean,
like to ask
if
something,
I'm a
maybe.
whole principal, I'm not going to DM you.
Yes.
But I
But
could,
if you
but I
ask,
could mark you.
I
could mark you and say this one
could
should not
also
get the
DM
job.
just to
Yeah.
get to know
No,
the
you-
questions you want,
Yes, yeah.
And so by the time you're applying, they already know this is maybe money oriented.
Yeah.
Because that's the first
Yes.
thing that you
Yeah.
ask.
Yes.
Maybe how is security, job security, and all that. And also something that I also find, it can also be alarming because maybe the person who is going to DM you had a bad experience at that
Yes.
space.
True.
So it will also put you in a very negative, you already get negative
that
Yes,
energy,
you're
that
already
energy.
starting from
Yes,
a
that
bad
energy.
place. Yes.
Because also not everyone that has worked in that school got, we don't get similar experiences in
yeah,
our
for
workspaces.
sure. Yeah.
So as we asked for people to DM us, I think we also need to be, maybe you'll say, I'm really interested in this. Will there be a
Yes.
better way that people
Yeah,
can
there would be.
Yeah.
But
interested and
asking about a
replied?
school
Yeah.
is something we need to do.
Yeah.
We need to do. Just like what we have, feedback from for products that we buy. We need to have. It's very difficult to get, by the way, but some schools will mess you up. Just like some workplaces, toxic places, you need to know. So it's the way we package
the way you
questions,
package for sure.
that matters.
Yeah. Or just maybe say, I'm trying to work around something. Could someone support me in navigating something like this? I would reach out to support if I want you to be part of my team. But if you just say DM
another
me.
thing I've seen is, apart from the way it's phrased, is even the language they use.
Yes.
If they're using Sheng and everything, it becomes a problem.
Yes.
You've seen in our WhatsApp group, sometimes teachers just tell us what they are up to and what they're looking for.
Yes.
If they're looking for jobs. Although I don't encourage it much because you're all teachers and you're all looking for jobs and all that. But sometimes someone packages it so well, tells their story in full
Yes.
sentences, full stops, and all that. You read and this person has this kind of qualifications, looking for this kind of job in this region. It's easier to help them
Yeah.
than, hey, kuna job unaweza nipatia or something.
Exactly.
You don't know what
Yeah.
to teach, all
Yeah.
those things.
Exactly. And I think also something else, now that it's a WhatsApp platform, the name that comes
Yes.
for WhatsApp.
Oh.
Because I mean, imagine two people,
Spider-Man.
or some pretty vicious something, and love hearts and all sort of emojis on their name, and someone else maybe has written director something.
Yeah.
I mean, who would you reach out to?
I know someone who's written. I talked to them. Their name on WhatsApp was Bullet. And I really got scared. Bullet of all things.
Yeah.
So we need to package that. That's very important.
Yeah.
Even the profile picture,
Yes.
the DP. I know this now gets into the realm of people's freedom of expression
personal
and
life.
all that. But I always say that, job search now is in very many stages. I mean, even interviews, someone will get your number, will text you something or what. Imagine the photo they'll see,
Yes.
the information they're going to see about you, all those things. I think it should put you in a way that sells you. Yeah.
And apart from, just WhatsApp, there are also other social media platforms that
Yes.
teachers can use to showcase
Yeah.
their work and all that. Maybe Mercy can help
Yes.
us
Yes.
get to know how can a teacher get showcase their
Sure.
their skills there on social media.
Sure. So one, I think let's come from a very official point. One, you can have a portfolio. This is something you can present to a panel. You can have a link. So right now we have apps like Canva where you can easily build a portfolio. So a portfolio basically is it's like the way you save a document, but now it's a document that has everything that you've been doing. It's documenting your life as a teacher. So take quick snippets of whatever you're doing in class, if it's allowed. Also, you have to be careful of the policies of the school. If it's allowed, if it's not allowed, you can do something personal even at home. If it's something like a project the kids did, you can take a picture and have it there. I think other social media platforms that people are warming up to, we have TikTok, we have Instagram. You don't even need to take it yourself. You can actually just pick somebody something that has been shared by another teacher, and then post it on yours. Maybe you are scared. Some people are scared to showcase because they don't want to be criticized or judged. So you can pick something that resonates with you from another educator and just say, I really like this. You can post something else, I resonate with this. That is also a way of just warming up and just showing people this is where my values are. If you're able to record something, you go ahead and do it. Show people what you're doing. Show people what is happening pale kwa ground,
Yes.
If it's something that maybe it's a project like this, maybe planting, maybe you're learning science, you've done a project, take a picture, record a video, and just post it and say, this is what I saw. If you've attended something like maybe Tufunzeni, there was a workshop or something, go there and connect with people. Later, come back and reflect and tell us, this is what I picked from the Tufunzeni. It might not like blow up and get you a million views, but 2 or 3 people will see and benefit from that. Also, it's also a way of building yourself. You start growing pole through the platforms.
Yes. And Omolo, can you also add for us maybe some of these platforms that we can make good use of?
I know she's not mentioned that because she's younger than me. She's not mentioned Facebook.
Oh.
Every time I mention to my kids, to the students that I'm on Facebook, they're like, Facebook? What? That still exists.
It's for old people, right?
For old people. But for me, I've built... A long time ago, I did what I decided, because I'm not the funniest person. I'm not going to be doing funny things to make people laugh on social media. So mine were boring updates about my teaching life and the projects I was doing. And so at some point, it just naturally it morphs into a CV. You can watch what this person is all about. And from that, you start attracting the right kind of audiences. People who DM you are collaborators. People who love your job. People who are in the space. So it's good for teachers also to decide very early on, and this is something I would tell someone who is coming into the profession, decide very early on your persona on social media. I always say that social media is like a shop where you can pick anything. Only that most of us go picking the product called stupid. You get? Because you can be anything. Imagine you could be someone who doesn't have the best grammar in real life, but you use your smartphone and it corrects. And you write now the correct grammar. So we always have to be very careful about the persona we create. And so for me, it's very the things that point towards who I am professionally, very curated. They always say that social media lies. It doesn't lie. Because if I'm posting about what I'm doing, but I'm posting once every 2 months, that is still
it's
my
still
real
what
life.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's
Only
just
that
selective.
I'm not posting, I'm selecting
Yes,
it. Yeah.
it's just
So we need to do
selective.
that. TikTok has been a thing. I'm seeing teachers now warming up to telling their stories. For a long time, we didn't used to tell our stories and doing that. But it comes with a caveat because I'm saying because of the likes and the views, people are now might go overboard and step into another realm of, stepping into kids' rights and everything else, putting kids' faces there. And I know there'll be, in the next few years, we'll talk about even using kids' voices because if I'm in class, yes, the camera is trained towards me, but I'm talking to kids whose voices can be heard. Hey guys, what did you? And then they're responding. It's still will. I know it's something that people because what if they say something that is personal and you put it there? Yeah, but we need to think about that. We need to create that balance.
Yes.
You've done so well for yourself. You're doing a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I think it's an ingenious thing that teachers need to embrace. One of the ways you can show that you're good at something is by teaching it or by creating videos about it. I've done a lot of oral literature videos in English. And from that, you realize that even some phone calls come from some schools. Oh, we used your video to teach this class. Very nice. So it's something we need to do. We need to show. And this can be even from someone who has just gotten out of college.
Actually true.
Yeah, just a topic, a 2-minute thing. Already showing what you can do. LinkedIn is a thing. LinkedIn has a lot of pressure though, because every 2 minutes someone is getting a job.
Someone is moving abroad.
But just showcase what you do, because I think it is the easiest platform to connect with your dream people is LinkedIn.
I agree.
Because you can DM that executive director of that company whom you cannot DM
Talk
on
to
Facebook or
normally.
anywhere else.
That's true.
Yeah, so I've seen schools actually. There's a secondary school in this country that is encouraging almost all the students to be on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Yes, and you see them there with their professional photos and their jackets and everything else.
Yeah.
We need to do that.
Yes.
So that we project the kind of persona we need to project.
Yeah.
So
and
we talked about TikTok.
Yes.
Facebook,
Instagram.
YouTube. I'm not very big on Instagram, but you can
but
use
Instagram is also it's a bit slow, but it's also nice.
Yeah.
And I think to add also on to what you said about the posting, maybe the area that aligns with you. If you don't have to show your face.
Yes.
If you're not comfortable showing your face, not everyone is comfortable. Like again, you said personality. Not everyone is comfortable sitting and just. Some people feel like I don't have the right smile. You don't have to sit behind a camera. You can just do things without showing your face. You can put the material there, and people will resonate with whatever you're posting. Something else that you've mentioned is about the voices. I know that's something that will. For sure, as we continue to move.
Continue to talk about it, because for the first time, the first bits, people used to have the kids.
Yes.
But then they were like, we're protecting them. Now we're doing the voices.
For sure.
And when you're talking about you recording, your literature lessons and all that, I was just smiling because I'm imagining a situation whereby we have principals teaching maybe 1 or 2 subjects, a principal teaching English literature, and maybe goes on social media to look for good videos to deliver our content. And then they get into
I know I've not told her this story. I've not told her this story.
Okay.
But this happened to me in real life.
But now, Omolo, just look at it like how lovely this is, because maybe
it happened to me in real life.
Right?
It happened to me in real life.
There, and then the person sees like, today I've actually gotten to interview.
They told me in an interview that I was telling them, okay, I do this interview, I do these videos, and he told me, I've watched your videos.
That's a take home. It's something that we need
is.
to
It
work
is.
on.
It is actually.
Yeah.
So you've
Watched
already
you.
proven
Yes,
You are
that
good.
that you're good.
I
Now
deserve
it's
to
just
be
going to
here.
come for other things.
You're innovative.
This
Yeah,
is just a
yeah.
A
confirmation.
Yes, it's a
confirmation.
confirmation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, when
Wow.
you're walking, sometimes they will even ask themselves now, they have to even change the questions to ask you from the ones that maybe they were asking the other
But
team.
there's another side.
Mm-hmm.
I know why teachers are not fearful of putting themselves out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because, for example, in a podcast like this, there are things we can discuss that will touch on the schools where we teach or can become a problem in future.
Yeah.
Like you can criticize some people and all that. So I know that it's something.
Also,
it's
there's a
something
thin
there's a
line.
thing. But as long as you're doing it professionally,
Yes.
you're showing yourself what
Yes.
you're doing.
Yes.
It's the best way to go. We forgot that now you can do blogs.
Yes.
You can do blogs and
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
So that when your name, it is always important that you search, you Google yourself. Google yourself.
I've done that.
What
Me
comes
too.
up?
I
What comes
did
up?
too.
Comes up, the first thing that by the way, what comes up is there is the Tufunzeni comes up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I'm always so proud because you feel like there is something positive that you are doing,
Yeah.
because that's also something I wanted to add, because sometimes yes, as educators we go into the social media space, but some of the things that we do in that social media space can also actually be some of the reasons that we are not thriving well
Yes,
in
for
the,
sure.
in the sector.
Yeah.
Because people search your name and maybe the things that comes are not things that align with
Them.
the vision actually in the education setup. The things that somebody will not expect from an educator.
Yes.
So as much as we want to embrace this technology and these social media platforms, we also need to look at it. You see, now I am very proud. There was a day my students were telling me, year 11,
Yeah.
I walked to class and they're like, Miss, I watched your podcast, and then because they're on Snapchat, they already sent it to each other. So they watched it. And one thing that I loved about it is now they told me, "Can we take 10 minutes of your lesson so that we just tell you things to improve on?"
Wow.
in your
I like that. I
that's
like that.
connection. So they're telling me, when you're doing this podcast, Miss, I want you to assume it's us you're addressing. You see the way you're very confident when you're addressing us. So we want you to assume that you're addressing us so that you be bold, and you just listen to them and you laugh about it, and it's bring a very good connection. So it was interesting to learn that they've searched to Tufunzeni. And they told me, today, if you go check your site, you'll find that the viewers have
Increased.
in a way.
And
Wow.
indeed, after that, I checked.
Yeah.
They did.
Wow.
Yeah, they did.
So
it's
there's something
nice.
I also want to ask. I know we talked about beautiful things, put yourself out there, but do you think that teachers are under pressure to portray a certain
Image.
that now Miss Kihugi can't do some other things that other ladies are doing?
Yeah. Definitely.
Do you think that's
Yes,
the case?
yes. There's definitely societal pressure. However, I feel like now our generation is more. There was this trend. I don't know if you guys got to see it. The one of like a teacher by day, and then there was just a different thing at night. Somebody's somewhere, just the most outrageous place you'd think about. So I think there's also that narrative where people are pushing people to be more of themselves. However, as much as you're yourself, it's good to like guard whatever it is that you have, because it can be misinterpreted. A parent will find you, let's say in a club somewhere in your local, and they'll start questioning, is this the person I'm trusting my child? I'm literally trusting my child to be in your hands. So there's also that pressure and that feeling of, I know sometimes teachers who want to like have fun, but they can't do that in their local area. They have to move away so that they can be themselves, and then there's no conflicts, So I definitely feel like there's pressure. Yeah.
To come to not to get into these pressures and all that, so that because the major thing here is it's something that is very big, and it's sometimes I don't even know how to put it using the best words. You want to go and thrive out there. Either you are a seasoned teacher, maybe you're just a fresh graduate, and you're looking for a way how to do it. Can we just in just a few words get to know how best can someone package themselves. What is this packaging, rebranding yourself? Because we are all a brand
Yeah.
by the end of the
Yeah.
day. But how can one rebrand himself or herself professionally, other than the qualifications and all that,
qualifications.
so that they meet that specific job that they're looking for?
I would say that in anything we do, there are sacrifices we have to make. Yeah, a footballer has to sacrifice something diet-wise. You
Yeah,
get?
for sure.
Yeah, so we have to sacrifice something as teachers. We have to sacrifice something because of how delicate our
The
profession
profession
is.
is.
Yeah, it's a very delicate one that deals with young people and so many other things. We have to show that we can be trusted
Yes.
with these people.
Yes.
And packaging ourselves means that everything about us has to come together in a consistent way. What we say, what we do, and what we promise. And so we can use all those tools, starting from how the outlook, how we present ourselves. Because one thing I learned at some point, there's a way, one day I matched my shoes and my belt and something, and a kid came to ask me, Mwalimu, I didn't know that we should actually coordinate our belt and shoes. So when you're teaching them, those things you're teaching them,
They are looking.
there's more.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is why the way we dress also needs to be that.
Yes.
I teach them how to tie a tie. We do that sometimes during the lesson when somebody's tie is undone or something. Because these things, there's a way. We are visual beings. There's a way that you have to look the part. So from the way, the outlook, to how we present ourselves out there, because before people are interested in us, they have to see something in us, even on social media.
Yeah.
So what we post, and now when we go to the professional side, we need to have our CVs that are always customized.
Yes.
Not generic ones that you send everywhere. 100 CVs sent.
Yeah.
And now also we need that portfolio needs to be there. Tell your
Yes.
story. Don't be
Yes.
shy. Tell your
Yes.
story. Shout. Shout. But the world really rewards those who shout about what they do.
Yeah.
The humble people. I always say this: recruiters don't recruit the best teachers. They recruit the best from the teachers who show up for that interview.
For
Yes,
that interview.
yes.
It's
Yeah.
true.
So
Yeah.
that job you got, someone else would have gotten it, but they were
But
not there.
they
They did not
didn't
show up.
they-
They
They
yeah.
didn't show up for that interview.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
we have to show up. Also something, I know Mercy will have many other ideas, but let me just put this one out. You have to be good at networking. Events where teachers are.
Yeah. Be
Because
there.
it is very difficult to find a principal to walk into a school and get to meet a principal.
Yeah.
But what if the principal is attending a function that you're attending? You can get their number very
Yes.
easily. At that point, people are in the same space. Yeah, you can meet anyone.
Yeah.
So these networks are not just a principal, even a teacher, just teachers.
Yeah.
Create those networks. People will start seeing what you're doing.
Yes.
And then and tell them what your vision is and what your ambition is.
Yes.
If you want to teach at an international school and you're in the village,
Yes.
meet these people and tell them, I would
Yes.
really love to teach an international school. That alone, when an opportunity comes up, they'll remember,
have you in mind.
They have you in mind.
Yes.
But lastly, about networking, I think we do it wrong because I've seen this a lot. You go to a function, you get somebody's number, and the next day, you're calling them every 2 minutes. Hey, nataka job, nataka job, nataka job. What I've learned over the years is that the connection that will give you a job now, in 10 years, is the one you're creating now.
Yes.
So you have to build the relationship. So I think Mercy
Wow.
has an
Okay.
idea.
Yeah. Just I think to add on, maybe before I forget, let me just so I think the branding also comes with working on yourself, like we said. So you have to build on your skills. So those small short courses that you see online, even if they're asking for like a small fee or a small payment, if it aligns with the line and your vision and whatever it is that you're passionate about, subscribe to those courses, do those courses, have them. You see the way you're saying that you need to talk about it and you need to shout?
Yeah.
Shout about them on LinkedIn. You do something very small, just a small achievement, shout about it on LinkedIn. That's how people see you're working on yourself, you're developing yourself. Nobody wants somebody who, since they were hired, they've not added anything to their CV. Their CV is the same way ever since. You don't have to like do a master's or a PhD, but those short courses really build up on whatever you're building. I think that's the one I want to add? There was something else, but I think as we move on, I'll remember.
There's
Yes.
something we had talked about earlier. Volunteering.
Oh,
Could you
yes,
say
yes,
something?
yes, for
Especially
sure.
for young teachers who are just getting into the
Yes.
profession.
So this is also coming from a very personal point because that's how I ended up where I am. So when you see those opportunities to volunteer, especially if it's a line that you do not know so much about, but you'd want to, let's give an example, the international space, right? You do not know much about it, but you want to work there and you want to be there. If you see spaces where you can volunteer and be an intern there, as long as you can be there and be productive, it's really nice because one, you get to familiarize with the environment, you get to know the kids or whatever it is that is happening, and the culture as well, which is really important. No one will pay you to go and learn about the culture. And they are now wondering, this person does not even know about our culture. Why are we paying them? They're not even being productive. But take it as this. From the point where you're being an intern and you're working and no one is paying you, these people are happy to have you, but you're also happy to learn. You learn the culture, you learn the do's and the don'ts of this institution. And the more you show up, the more now they see, I think they're really now coming to this side. We can now see them becoming who we are, you see? And that's how now you get a chance. So now you even stop second guessing yourself because now you become more confident. Now I can teach the way other teachers teach. You start now blending in with veteran teachers who will show you the ropes. So please take those opportunities. Go interview, intern somewhere, go and volunteer.
And what normally happens is when someone leaves, you are more
you
likely
actually
to, they won't,
yes.
And the transitioning is also smooth.
Yeah.
There,
In fact,
you know
that's what
is
they tell you when you're on internship. That's what they tell you because you're at a better position because you know, like uko kwa ground, so you know, so you would be a better position to fill in. The kids have warmed up to you.
And lastly, don't forget, it's easier to get a job when you already have a job than when you don't.
You have a job as a volunteer.
Yes.
And there is something, Dennis, that you talked about customizing your CV. You know, there is this trend that I think it's also a mistake that mostly we make as we look for job, that you have one CV that maybe was made in 2015, you probably used it, you got a job, you want to transition, and then you ask for a CV, you used the same CV. You know, a number of people don't go back to see this job. You know, every job that is sent, there are specific specifications that they So it's always good just to go and check. You know, from experience, someone has sent a CV for a bio. It was biomath, and this CV was not even for anything to do with education. It was something to do with I don't know, supplier or something. So and this is somebody that is referred to me by someone else. So I contact the person who gave me the name and the number. Imagine you've been told, please contact this number. They need a CV, so send your CV to this number. So a CV is sent, and it's something that is not even related to education. So I called back my friend and asked, and she felt disappointed. You know, sometimes it's, you know, as we said, we cannot just be one package. There are other things that I can do in business world that can thrive well than even classroom. So, but maybe I had applied job in that line. Please be conscious that you have to check your CV back before you send it.
And even if it is about education and it is aligned to the subject, that
different things you can add.
you can add
In a
according to
day
the
or
advert.
two, I believe people grow. There is something that you have learned. Like right now, there is something that I've learned. That if I'm going to apply for a job today, I have to go and adjust myself. Even if I did it yesterday.
But even that advert has some wordings that
you can use. Exactly.
Yeah. So if you're just doing a generic one, and this happens especially for teachers, and I have to address teachers who are teaching under TSC because I've been there, and because when you're teaching under TSC, it doesn't click that you will need a job at some point. So the CV is always very old, and it's something we need to do something about it. CVs are very important. They tell us who you are in a nutshell. And now there's this thing called the TS compliant CVs. I would just rather ask someone to work with a professional CV writer and revamp their CV, and then now they can tweak it according to the positions. But especially now at time like this when there's a hiring surge, go to a school, just walk to a school and do a blind thing, do a blind application. One thing I've learned is that most of these jobs will not be announced, will not be they will not advertise them. if there's a position, they look at the CVs they already have and they call 3 people.
Yes.
Make sure your CV is one of
Yes,
those. So
yes.
how do you do this? Just walk to your dream schools, drop your CVs,
Yeah.
and forget about those ones. The call will come 1 or 2 years
Yeah,
later,
yeah.
and you'll be in a position
Yeah,
to.
and I think just to add, because I think the walking might not work for some.
For some,
Why?
sometimes
they restrict you.
actually, do you
Oh.
know?
Like in
I
our
think
school, you can't
before,
walk and leave a
yeah,
CV.
Oh, you
the
can.
same,
no,
yeah,
they'll
the
tell
same
you
thing.
We do CVs
Yes.
online. So
Oh,
they
you
will-
can.
The
yeah.
same thing happened to me. I think there was once I
Yeah.
was doing the same thing because I was like, I have to go to these places and
Yes.
just job search
Yeah.
myself.
Yes.
And you get up to the gate and no
Yes.
one
Don't
lets you
even-
in.
yeah.
You can
Yeah.
only talk to the security guy
Yes.
and they're like, you're not allowed to access
Yeah,
the building.
I-
And you're
I
like, can
know
I just
those.
leave my papers? And they're like, no.
You
Have you
can't.
come to see
So-
someone? And you're
yeah.
like, no. And you have to leave.
But I think
Hmm.
most times it will work. But yeah, in
Yeah,
these kind of cases,
yeah.
yeah.
So if it doesn't work, I think you can take advantage of these schools' open days.
Yes.
Yes.
Where because all the time they will advertise for open days where they allow
And
people
you're
to
freely
come in.
allowed to-
You're allowed to get in. They will take you through how they do it. In our school, we even do like demo lessons for them, just to show them how good we do it. So you're taken through the curriculum, the subjects, an overview of everything.
It's a good time
so
to steal
it's
the
a very
methodologies they're using. So when you go for an interview and you're given a class,
yeah
practice, you already know how they do it.
you can see
You
how
do it
they
the Nova
teach the
way.
teaching methodologies, right? So it's really also nice to help you warm up to the environment and just this. So if I need to get to this institution, this is what I need to do. Talk to a few people, talk to a teacher, talk to the teacher who was doing the demo lesson there. If you want a job, you will get a tip or two.
Yeah, tip or two. You know, this conversation is very
No, it
interesting.
is,
It can
it
go over
is.
and over again.
Yeah.
My fellow colleagues, it will go over and over again. But you know, either way, we just need to wrap it now. And as we wrap it, I'll just give an opportunity, Dennis, to tell us what is that one mindset that you feel is holding teachers back. You know, there is something that, you know.
There's something. The rigidity. The rigidity. I posted something sometime back. I think you read it, where I said that if you'd rather be paid more in a good environment where you're teaching a lower grade than be paid less in a toxic environment where you're teaching a higher grade. One of the things I've learned, especially teachers moving from secondary school to other schools, you're asked, you've been teaching, a candidate class, KCSE, and you're asked, Mwalimu, would you be open to teaching grade 3? Mimi.
Siwezi.
Grade 3, watoto wadogo.
Siwezi.
Because even now they're fighting over so many things. I've seen schools where teaching Form 1 is such a taboo. I love teaching Form 1. Anyway, so I think that's the mindset shift that we need to have, because there are teachers in other countries, even if you go teaching abroad, someone in kindergarten is going to be earning more than you teaching a candidate class at KCSE. So no, we're not just talking about the money, it's about the experience also. That for you to unlock more opportunities, you need to free up your mind and be exposed to other possibilities. And you said something about you teaching lower grades at some point, and you love it even more.
Until she had to leave the offer to go to
high
so that's the thing.
school.
That's the thing I would say.
Yes.
The mindset needs to
for
shift.
sure.
In the job search.
So
be ready to take some hits for the ultimate gains in future.
Yes, I agree.
And maybe you can also tell us what is one thing that teachers, someone needs to do, especially this year, because it's now or never. That can help them strengthen their profession.
I think I'll repeat something that has been said over and over, that they have to be ready to sacrifice and to work for it. These things don't just come. You have to work for it and you have to be ready. You want to get into an international space, there's a lot of work that comes with it and you have to be ready. So this is not a place to sit back and just be like, this is not that I'll teach and go home. There's nothing like teach and go home. There's actually nothing like teach and go home. If you want to be an exemplar teacher, you have to do more. You have to do more and you have to be ready. So you embrace it and make it part of your life. Because the teach and go home doesn't work. Because you'll teach and go home, but you've lost the kids, right? You've taught and go home, you've not connected with the parents. And especially if you want to join the international space, which I know most people are gravitating towards, you have to be ready for the work that comes with it. So start with the mindset, shift the mindset, make it positive, and just allow every opportunity to be a learning opportunity. work with the kids, make the parents your friends, build a beautiful rapport with the kids, and also be firm and friendly. All right. I think we need an episode where we talk about boundaries as well. Yes.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
one thing I've loved, I know I already said, but one thing I've loved, you said, thank you for mentioning something I've always mentioned. Let us remember that the kids are the reason why we're doing this.
Yes.
They are our
Yes,
employers.
they are.
Yes,
Yes.
Just taking a time to reflect about
Yeah.
how your day was with them will also inform how you will receive them the following day.
Yes.
But if you're the one who is just waiting for time,
Yeah.
it's time, and then you take your bag.
Actually, there's a saying as we wrap up that says, work for the learners and not for the institutions. So do it for the learners. And if you have that in mind, I'm telling you, everything changes.
Yeah.
The administration will tell you to do this. You'll not feel like it's a lot of work, even if it's a lot of work, because you remember you have the learners in mind, not the institution.
Thank you so much, Denise and Mercy, for making it to this. This episode would have not been this wonderful without you. So we really, really appreciate so much. And to our listeners, if you find this useful, please make sure you share it with your colleagues. Make sure you share it in your circles. Always keep it Tufunzeni. You can get it on YouTube. Just search that Tufunzeni podcast. And, if you want to learn more on how to package yourself, rebrand yourself for the jobs that are coming up, or even if you know someone who is not in education setup, branding yourself does not mean you really need to be a teacher. We have other jobs that are also need such. Always keep, one way is to get to groups or communities that subscribe to the same vision. And that is why Tufunzeni is here. Please make sure you get to Tufunzeni, and we will always walk the journey with you. We will always make things simpler. It might not be really as, fulfilling to you and all that, but at least it will take you a step to your nearest job. So thank you. And until next time, keep it Tufunzeni.